let's see how can we actually prevent or control radioactive pollution. Well, there are three main principles of radiation protection. Number one, keeping a distance from the source of radiation. Number two, avoiding the length of the time exposure. And number three, shielding the object from direct radiation. So these are the three principles that are there for radiation protection, right? Keeping a distance, avoiding the length, and shielding the object. Now the exposure decreases with distance from the source. So time of exposure should be kept as low as possible to accomplish a particular task. So you need to keep the exposure time as low as possible. Then moving on to the next criteria, shielding is the interposition, you can say the interposition of dense material between the source of radiation and the surroundings to reduce or stop the disposal of radiation. This is how shielding is done, the interposition of this dense material. Then wherever possible, one should avoid chest and lower back X-ray routine physical examination. One should also avoid the chest radiography in routine prenatal case. So chest radiography needs to be avoided in routine prenatal case. Then tuberculosis screening by chest radiography, this also needs to be avoided on routine basis, right, wherever it is possible. Then radioactive particles should not be inhaled because of the toxic nature, therefore laboratory hoods. Then we have air filters, they should be used while handling a radioactive material at a lab scale. So we need to use it protective equipments. Then other protective measures include use of exhaust systems, wearing of protective clothing, and prohibiting smoking and prohibiting eating wherever the radioactive material is being used. You should avoid this. Then we also need to check out the leakage of radioactive materials and elements from nuclear explosions, nuclear reactors, and nuclear fuel processing, because they can pollute the air and hence they need to be checked regularly. So we need to keep a check on this, the nuclear reactors, nuclear fuel processing, and the nuclear explosions. Access to areas that could permit exposure to radiation should be actually checked, and there should be radiation resistant cases or walls to screen workers from possible radiation hassles, right. So workers need to be protected from these radiations, right. Then moving on to the disposal, radioactive waste should be stored in deep layers of the lithosphere where their gradual harmless decay can take place. This should be done only after rendering the radioactive material harmless. So this is how the disposal should be there for the radioactive waste. Then if there are high activity solid waste, they can be packed in shielded containers, like these shielded containers. Lower level of liquid and gaseous waste are usually diluted or dispersed to maximum allowable limits before their disposal. This is how high activity solid waste needs to be disposed of. Then ground disposal of low level radiation waste could be disposed of, for example, this under the soil, the rock, and the groundwater conditions, right. So this is how low activity waste should be disposed of. Then other disposal methods include these natural caverns, right, disposing this natural caverns, then deep mines and the salt cavities. And deep well disposal can also be made for the radioactive materials. But important is that we should actually prevent the use of nuclear weapons, okay. Now let's summarize what we have done so far. There are three main principles of radiation protection. I told you the first principle is keeping a distance from the source of radiation. Secondly, avoiding the length of the time exposure. Third is shielding the object from the direct radiation. So the exposure decreases with distance from the source. The time of exposure should be kept as low as possible to accomplish a particular task. Shielding is the interposition of a dense material between the source of radiation and the surroundings to reduce or stop the disposal of radiation. So this shielding is being done, I told you earlier also, when Chernobyl disaster took place, the reactor which was actually leaking out, now a shield is being constructed so that there is now no direct contact of the radiation with the environment. So this is how shielding can be done. Then wherever possible, one should avoid chest and lower back x-rays in routine physical examinations. Chest radiography and tuberculosis screening should be avoided. Then radioactive particles should not be inhaled because of the toxic nature. So therefore, laboratory hoods, air filters, they should be used at a lab scale wherever the radioactive materials are being used. Other protective measures include use of exhaust systems, wearing protective clothing, and prohibiting smoking and eating where radioactive material is used. So the areas which are prone to these radioactive materials, you should avoid smoking and eating in the nearby areas where the radioactive materials are being used. Then the leakage of radioactive materials and elements from nuclear explosions, nuclear reactors, nuclear fuel processing can pollute the air, and hence they need to be checked regularly. Access to areas that could permit exposure to radiation should be controlled. There should be radiation resistant cases or walls to screen workers from possible radiation hassles. So, in terms of an industry, the safety of the worker is the priority of the employer. So, employer needs to take care. If the region is contaminated with radioactive materials, then worker safety must be ensured. How can we ensure worker safety? There should be radiation resistant cases or walls to screen workers from possible radiation hassles. Then radioactive waste should be stored in deep layers of the lithosphere where the gradual harmless decay can take place. So this should be done only after rendering the radioactive material harmless. Then high activity solid waste can be packed in shielded containers. Low level liquid and gaseous waste are usually diluted or dispersed to maximum allowable limits before disposal. And ground disposal of low level radiation waste could be disposed of under approved soil, rock and groundwater conditions. And other disposal methods include these dry natural caverns, deep mines, salt cavities, and the deep well disposal, and ocean disposal can also be made to dispose of the radioactive materials. So above all, man should avoid dealing with nuclear weapons. So this is also the most major drawback of mankind, that we are actually making these nuclear weapons when we know that these nuclear weapons can destroy the whole humanity, the whole world. So we actually need to stop making these nuclear weapons and stop using these nuclear weapons, and we need to dispose of these nuclear weapons under the ocean bed so that the radiation that are being continuously emitted from them, they should not harm us.